Welcome back, family, here for the Back Issue Book Club here on Team Ohana. I'm your host, Rich. This week, as per a recommendation from the manager of Visions Comics, which I go to in Rockmart, Georgia, decided to read the first six issues of Saga. And yeah, she even gave me the reprint version just so I could have a paper copy for reading it. And again, I read the first six issues of this, and I don't want to get into any type of spoilers. I am going to say that I do recommend people pick this up and read it. Now, I know that there's a lot of issues of this. I think it's 60 some odd issues of this and still ongoing. But first impression, though, was that I'm not big on reading. I don't have no problem. I don't have no. Yeah, that's what comic books have done. Illiterate, double negatives. I don't have any problem with blood, gore, scare in comic books. What I'm not a big fan of is sex in comic books. So when I started reading this, I'm like, oh, it's one of those kind of books. However, it was done decently, I guess. The best way I could try to describe this is if the writers for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the writers for the first heavy metal animated movie got together and said, let's have a collaboration, it would be Saga. Okay? It's got enough seriousness, enough corniness, enough of every little nuance to actually give you the feeling of it being real. I actually started connecting with these characters. The entire thing is told from the story point, I believe, of the infant who at the beginning of the book isn't even born yet. I think it's like a memory, or she narrates it from time to time. You've got two main characters that are from opposing sides of a war that fall in love. And you could tell, honestly, that this, even though it's an intense feeling love, that it's true that what they feel for each other, that it is still kind of new. They haven't learned each other perfectly. She kind of freaks out when she hears that he was engaged to somebody in the past. She also is kind of like, well, it's at the very beginning of the first book, so I guess it's not too much of a spoiler. She makes a remark like, if this ever happens again, I'm going to, poop all over you. And you're not going to enjoy that unless you're into that. Oh, please tell me you're not into that. So, which means she doesn't know everything about them. They're still new. It's the interactions that they have with their characters, the armies that they're fighting. The bounty hunters, which are named the something. You have the Will, and I can't. I'm horrible with names. It wouldn't, if Boba Fett was in this, he would be called the Fett. They had to have the as the title. Apparently, these were the largest planet in the galaxy, which of course had the largest moon, both of which were inhabited. They declared war on each other, but they didn't want to have their civilizations, their cities destroyed. So they decided, you know what, we're just going to fight our battles on other people's planets and inconvenience them instead. And at the same time, since they're so large and powerful, they're kind of forcing people to join, kind of like the Separatists and the Republic in the first three Star Wars movies. Like, oh, yeah, you want to be part of the Separatists? Fine. You're going to have to fight for us. Otherwise, we're going to blockade you and you're not going to have any food. So many civilizations are fighting. A lot of them really don't have a vested interest other than the propaganda which was forced upon them to make them feel like they had to fight. And in the middle of it, you've got one person from each side that fall in love, have a kid, and there are many, both sides consider it to be an embarrassment. That a soldier for this and a prince for them. that they got together Romeo and Juliet style. So the hits are on. We want both of the adults killed, but we want the child. We want to know. I guess they want to investigate the child, not Grogu. Like get the blood and find out what midichlorians are in it. But they just want the child for as of issue 6. They have not disclosed a reason, and the artwork is great. The first book, it wasn't double sized, but for some reason it read slow to me. It seemed to take a long time, but then issues 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flew. I mean, I think I read 2 through 6 in about the same amount of time as it took me to read number 1. And maybe it's less pages, maybe it's less dialogue, maybe I was just more in the zone. I don't know, but I did really, really like this book, and as a result, I'm going to continue this book. This is going to be the back issue book club for next week, but instead of 6 more issues, I'm going for an even dozen. Okay, so I'm going to go issues 7 through 18. There we go. So, that's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be like that. I'll get the sign. In fact. Oh, no. Oh, yes. I don't know what I did there. I'm trying to go to a full screen, but I guess I can't do it. Whatever. You can see it. So, please, if you guys have read Saga, let me know your thoughts. Are you completely up to date? Did you recently did you read it a long time ago and you dropped out of it? You want to get back into it? I want to know. Also, please throw some comments down below on what other series that you would like to see me react to. So let me get this my rating real quick on a scale of 1 to 10. The first 6 issues only, of course, because I can't rate what I don't know. A little bit of a slow start because I was worried about what kind of book it was, but how the characters, I relate to them. They're realistic to me. They have their strengths and their weaknesses, their flaws, which every person does. I really like this. I'm going with a solid 8.0. And I'm looking forward to reading the next 12 issues for this. All right. So let me wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you, hopping on here and watching the Back Issue Book Club. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and just click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Until I see you again in the next video, mahalo.